So Halo Infinite Season 4 was just revealed, and it's been leaked for, quite a while at this point. But now that we officially have news and confirmed features and maps and different things for Season 4, I figured now would be a perfect time to cover all of it. To start off, Halo Infinite Season 4 drops on June 21st. It's a Wednesday, and it's coming up in a couple weeks, and it's pretty much guaranteed to have a little teaser at the Xbox Showcase on the 11th, or this Sunday. But I figured I'd just let you know when it drops so you know when to jump into the game if you want to. Now, looking at the list of a lot of the things that are going to be in Season 4, especially at launch, I really feel like this is the biggest update the game has ever had, and I could not be more excited about it. Halo Infinite had a very rocky start and had 6-month seasons for Season 1 and Season 2, and then it had another 3-month or 4-month season with the winter update. And then Season 3 was nice and definitely the best update we had, but it still wasn't that great. But everything we're seeing for Season 4, it looks incredible in my opinion. To start off, and I think this is the biggest feature for me, this is the main feature that's going to get me back into the game for Season 4, and that is we are finally getting career ranks at launch for Season 4. Every other Halo game has had a career rank system, whether it's, okay, I don't know if Combat Evolved actually had one, but Halo 2 had one, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong about that. But Halo 3 had one, Reach had one, MCC had one, and Halo 5 had one. And Infinite has been missing one for the last year and a half since the game launched. But now with Season 4, they are finally adding the career system back and with military medals, and it's just really, really sick. So here's kind of how the career rank works. So everybody starts out at level 0, recruit, and then you have a ton of levels to go through. To put it into perspective, let me tell you about it. There are 6 different metal types. There's bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and onyx. Now for each of those, there's 15 medals in each of those categories, which means 15 times 6, I don't want to do the math, but that's a lot of ranks that you have to get up. And each time you rank up, it takes more XP to get to the next rank. In other words, this is going to keep you on the game for a very long time, which is really exciting to see. Once you get to max rank, after the general on Onyx, you go to hero, which is the very max rank that you can get to. And that's kind of where you cap off. Career rank will only count from your personal score out of matches, so not the team score, not if you win, not anything else, just what you personally do. And double XP does not work on it, which is really good because that would make the career rank pay to win, because a lot of people would pay for double XP and rank up faster. So I'm glad that is not happening. It also doesn't reset with every season, so you don't have to worry about it resetting all the time. You can have this career rank go through you all the way through the game's life cycle if you want. But here's the one issue I have with it, and it's the reward system. The only rewards you get for ranking up in the career rank is emblems. All you get is emblems for ranking up, and I don't know if there's some max rank, like when you get to hero, I don't know if there's like some cool armor or cool coding or something, but they have said nothing about that. All I know is every time you rank up, all you get is a emblem, which is the exact problem people had with Halo 5. When you made it to SR 152 in Halo 5, the max rank, all you got was an emblem. And so I hope this doesn't follow that same thing. If we get an emblem for every one, I guess that's fine. But if you get to max rank, you should get some like armor set or something for devoting so much time into the game. But that's my only complaint about the career system. Alright, next we have 2 new maps, or technically 3, but I'll get into the third one in a minute. First we have Scar, which is a BTB Banished inspired map. It actually looks really sick. It kind of gives me Mustafar vibes from Star Wars. Now, granted, it is just another Banished map, kind of like how we have a ton of human maps. I wish we would get more, like, variety, like Covenant maps, or I don't know. But it still looks cool anyways, in my opinion. So, I feel like I'm going to have a lot of fun in this map. From the look of it, it's beautiful, and hopefully it's a lot of fun. We also have a new arena map called Forest, which gives me a lot of Delta Halo vibes from Halo 2, and I love that. It looks really cool, and I love the way everything's overgrown. I love the design of it. It's so cool. It's definitely different than the Forerunner human aesthetic we've been getting with every map. It's like old ruins. It could be Forerunner ruins, but you know, it's not like the same Forerunner design we've seen. It's like old temples and stuff. I really like the design. It's really cool. And the third map I was going to talk about is the Plaza remake from Halo 5. Now, the Plaza remake was slated to come out with Halo Infinite Season 3 at some point, but it couldn't make it in time, and it's also not going to make it for launch for Infinite Season 4, but it will show up in Infinite Season 4 at a later date. We also have 2 new pieces of equipment, which one of them is cool and one of them isn't, in my opinion. The first one is the Quantum Translocator, which if you've ever played Overwatch, it's kind of like Tracer's ability, where you pretty much activate the power-up in a place you're standing, and then you can run around the map and do whatever. And as soon as you press the button for the power-up, you'll teleport right back to where you spawned the power-up in the first place. I feel like people can get really creative with it, and honestly, I think it can be really cool. Now, the next piece of equipment is the Threat Seeker, which is just the threat sensor, but instead of sticking, it just bounces around like a frag grenade and exposes people around. It's kind of boring, in my opinion, because we already kind of have a power-up like that, but I guess it's nice for the competitive scene, but I've never been a competitive Halo player. I've never really cared for competitive. I've always been more social, and I will always root for social to reign supreme, because I feel like Halo is a lot more catered to competitive play nowadays. So this doesn't really get me too excited, but if you are excited about it, it is there. Also in their little showcase, they showed a new BR model, which looks pretty cool. I mean, I don't know, it's a different model, which is the first new model of a gun that we have in the game, so that's pretty exciting. It's not a completely new gun, it's still the battle rifle, it just looks a little different, but I feel like the potential of this could be really cool. Imagine using the MA40 in the game, or the assault rifle, but you could put on a different model that made it look like the one out of Combat Evolved. Or like on the pistol, you could, you know, make it look like the Combat Evolved Magnum or something like that if they don't end up adding the Magnum to the game at some point. I feel like that could be really cool, the potential. So while this battle rifle variant looks whatever, I feel like the potential for that in the future could be really sick. By the way, Future Carter here, I forgot to mention that there's also a new core. It's like a hazmat core, so it looks like a hazmat suit, but like, you know, it's Spartan armor. It actually looks really cool. You know, they released the Chimera core back with Season 3, and I think it's the most hideous thing I've ever seen, but the new core for this season actually looks really sick. And if there is another core, because they usually do 2 for every season, I'm not sure of what it is as of recording this, but I just wanted to let you know that they do have a hazmat core, and it looks sick in my opinion. Anyways, back to Past Carter. There's also some new Forge updates in Season 4. They weren't really specific on it, so I don't really know what's coming, but we are getting new Forge updates. I'm pretty sure one of them is the ability to finally add water to your map, so I think that's really cool, because that's definitely something that's been lacking out of a lot of Forge maps. So the ability to add water, I think, will be really cool. And they confirmed that AI will not be coming in Season 4 for Forge. Forge AI won't be, but it has the potential to land in Season 5, assuming everything goes according to plan, which it rarely does with 343, but if it does, it should be there, you know, before the end of the year. And to end off on the biggest thing, I mean, I think career rank is the biggest thing, but the biggest thing most people are excited for is Infection, of course. Now, obviously, Infection should have been there from the beginning of the game. A lot of game modes that still aren't in the game, like Griffball, should have been there since the beginning of the game. But regardless, we have Infection now. It is tied into the multiplayer narrative, which I find pretty interesting. It's definitely unique, and I kind of like it. And even though Infinite's multiplayer narrative hasn't hooked me that much yet, I feel like it's definitely leading somewhere, so I am pretty excited to see where it goes. Iratus, the brute AI that's in the Halo Infinite narrative for the multiplayer, has taken over the Spartans last we saw in Season 3, and so now the Spartans he's taken over are the infected ones. So instead of being infected with a green sword or like the Flood in Halo 4's infected mode, you have a red sword and you're infected with an AI instead of the Flood, which I find like a really cool new spin on it. Even though I would have liked the, you know, classic green sword with, you know, the Flood or whatever, I still think this way of narratively doing it with Iratus taking you over as an AI, I think it's really cool. Obviously, you guys should know how Infection works. One guy's infected, everyone else isn't. You know, you try and infect everyone until everyone's infected, and if you're not infected, you try and survive the whole time. Basic Infection stuff. But I am curious what the loadouts are going to be, because usually you have a pump-action shotgun in Infection, but the pump-action is not in Infinite. You only have the Bulldog. So I wonder if they're going to do Bulldog or whatnot. I mean, if they add a pump action, that'd be cool, but obviously they're not. Now, so far we don't have any news on new weapons or vehicles. I was really hoping the Falcon could have landed for Season 4, but it doesn't look like it's going to. Neither with new weapons, and it's unfortunate, but the stuff we have here is extremely exciting to me. I mean, Season 4 is literally called Infection. So, you know, I feel like that's going to be obviously the biggest part of it, and I really wonder how the Season 4's story is going to continue that narrative. And that's all the news I have for Season 4. I could be missing some stuff, but From everything I dug into, this is kind of the main stuff that's gonna be coming, at least launching with Season 4. Like I said, stuff like the Plaza remake is probably going to come later in Season 4, and maybe some other stuff too, hopefully some other stuff too. But for the launch on June 21st, this is all you can expect from the game. If you haven't played Infinite in a long time, or haven't even jumped into it yet and you are curious, I feel like jumping in with Season 4 is a really good move. I've kind of been burned out of the game for a while. Obviously, back at the end of last year when they added Forge and Customs Browser and stuff, I was all over it. Like, over the Season 3, I kind of just got bored, and I never really finished the Battle Pass or anything. I haven't played Infinite in like a couple months, I feel like, at this point. But everything they have here is really exciting, and they finally picked up their feet after almost 2 years. Obviously, the game still has a ton of issues, whether it's desync or balancing, or the UI still sucks and stuff like that. And I don't know if the game will ever fully get fixed before the next Halo installment comes out, whatever Tatanka is supposed to be. But until then, for the newest Halo game, it's still just a blast to go through. And obviously we have MCC to play through if you aren't into Infinite and everything that's doing. Alright, I've been rambling on for a long time now. I don't really have much more to add. I am really excited. And yeah, subscribe if you want. I would appreciate it. And yeah, see ya.